What's the difference between pornography and art? The female form is considered by both genders to be incredibly beautiful, more curvaceous, etc. And there is a mixture of media. Some is called art, some is called pornography. And what's the difference? What's the difference between a painting of a beautiful nude, for example, and a that might be called art, and a painting of a beautiful nude that might be called pornography, or a photograph that might be art, or a photograph that might be called pornography? Well, a little bit of it is subjective, because the difference is functional impact. Art is a window through to something transcendent. Pornography is an encapsulation in the senses. So if looking at a nude in a forest, painted or otherwise, touches a part inside and takes you through the image into feelings that are beyond the individual sense of the self, but also beyond the body of the woman. It is art, not just because it is called art, but because one is having a transcendent experience. If, on the other hand, one is encapsulated in the senses without a sense of transcendence, without a sense of heightened awareness, without a sense of something bigger than self or the other, then it becomes pornography. And this sense of heightened awareness and moving through the image, or flooded sensation and fixating on the image, really is the distinction. The same is true in a sexual experience, that the focus on the limited personality and body features of another person that is absorbing in the moment is a more banal sexual experience. And the focus of seeing the god and goddess, the other, the mystical, on imagination, on seeing oneself in a new way, becomes a transcendent sexual experience. Tantra, for example, is one spiritual face of sexuality where the goal is to access a transcendent energy through breath, through touch, through presence, and through ritual. The goal is to move beyond the self of the limited personality and the other, and the limited personality of the other, and to blend, to become part of something bigger. In the kind of carnal pornographic aspect of sexuality, the goal is to get lost in the ego, in the body. It's the fixation with the skin color, with this. It's getting lost in the immediate felt experience with nothing more. There's nothing sacred. There's nothing transcendent about, the perfect breast, for example, as if it is it. In a similar way, in Christianity, there's the talk about the golden calf, or the worship of false idols. that to worship a thing or a symbol, we have it with money as well. The love of money is the root of all evil. Money isn't the root of all evil. It's the obsession with the symbol. So really, pornography and art are about whether or not you are trapped in the symbol of something or whether you use the symbol to reach something transcendent. When money is used to reach transcendent levels of well-being, when it is a vehicle, a symbol of value that is used to create value, when beauty is used as a doorway to the sacred, to the transcendent, when sexuality is used as a way to touch and move through the other, to take things to a deeper level. There's an acknowledgement of the metaphor, of the illusion, of the symbol, and something that's more real, that is accessed through the gateway of the symbol. In a similar way to writing, we understand that the word is a symbol for a meaning. And when we read something and our minds open up and our consciousness expands and we go to a place of connecting with another mind, we're moving through the symbol into the meaning. Now, words are such an abstract symbol of value that most of us don't get hung up salivating on fonts and salivating on letters. We're engaged with the meaning. But if the pictures that the words create are pornographic, we will salivate on the image and not the energy that is capable of being accessed through the image. At its core, all external reality is metaphorical, is symbolic, is an echo, a shadow of a more real experience that is occurring multidimensionally, that can be touched initially through the doorway of the symbol, through the doorway of the body, the doorway of the words, the doorway of the image, the doorway of sensation. But it isn't limited to that. It moves through, it transcends that doorway and goes on to something bigger. When pleasure lifts to enjoyment, when touch lifts to a sense of beauty, a sense of something that is beyond, ineffable, that is when life, in all of its many forms, becomes art. And when it is when it is the money that is held as if that is all there is, the body that is possessed, the thing that it's no one can have this thing, then we're expressing more of the dragon hoarding energy, the dragon that will sit on a pile of gold that it can't eat or do anything with, or collect virgin women, etc., that has nothing to do with. So you have these two kind of tensions. One is getting held up in the symbol of value and hoarding it, and the other is moving through the symbol of value into something bigger and beyond. And the former tends to bind up energy and thus be less intelligent and lead to a certain kind of death, spiritually for certain, mentally, imaginally for certain. The other to move through, to open always into the unknown, always into something bigger than human consciousness can fully grasp, bigger than the limited ego can fully identify with, because it is at core, art is at core a doorway into something bigger than ourselves.